In this video on Twitter, we're going to talk about content strategy and messaging best practices. 140, that's the number of characters you can use to post a tweet on Twitter. There were rumors back in 2015 and 2016 that Twitter was going to increase that character limit, but the CEO, Jack Dorsey, dismissed that at the time, saying, "It's staying. It's a good constraint for us. It allows for of-the-moment brevity." However, just recently, in September of 2017, Twitter announced a single-digit percentage of its 328 million users will be randomly selected to test a feature that allows them to double the amount of characters allowed in a tweet to 280. So it'll be interesting to see if that eventually rolls out to everyone or if they backpedal and go back to the 140 character limit. So let's look at the anatomy of a tweet. So first, you have a tweet, which is an update that you post on Twitter. It might be text, it could be photos or links or GIFs or videos. It could be any number of types of content. Then you have your reply. So that's where this backwards arrow is here. So if you want to reply to Twitter Small Biz regarding the tweet that they posted here, you would hit that back arrow and be able to reply to their message. Then you have the retweet button right here in the middle, the dual arrows going in a circle. That's just the ability to share someone else's tweet with the people who follow you. You can double click the button to share the tweet as is, or if you click it once, you can actually add a comment to the beginning of it. Then you have the like button with the little heart here. It's a simple way to just acknowledge the tweet and in a positive way. It can also kind of be a way to bookmark it if you want to find it again easily. Then you have the hashtag. In this example, it's hashtag tweet tip, the number 5 there. So a hashtag is any word or phrase without spaces that starts with that # symbol, and people add it to their content so that it can be searchable. So that way people who are looking at for information on different topics can find what other people have said about that topic by searching that hashtag. And then number 6 up here, you have a mention that's preceded by the @sign. So that's when you bring a tweet to someone else's attention by including their handle, their Twitter handle, in your message. You could use it to ask someone a question or thank them or highlight a piece of content for them. You can also direct message tweets directly to people on Twitter as well. So here's some other aspects of a tweet. As you can see, a tweet that has been retweeted will have this RT in front of it. Your Twitter handle shows up here, so you can change your name here, I believe, but this handle will always stay the same. Your profile name followed by preceded by the @sign. And then again, here's another hashtag and a long URL. This has been shortened here to take up less space. So this is kind of a shortened URL that will link to a particular web page. And then if you click here on View Summary, you can actually get a quick view of what the link is actually going to. So how do you create conversations on Twitter? How do you start to engage with people? Well, first of all, you want to start building relationships. You want to really engage with people in a personal way. So listen for things that people are commenting on about you or your company. Look for your hashtags with your company name. Set up alerts so that they can be highlighted for you. Respond to the comments and queries that people make of you. Don't just ignore them. And then ask questions to begin building relationships and engagement with followers. Post links to things you think that your followers would find interesting. So if you work in the marketing industry and you hear some new news that's relevant to other marketers, you might tweet about that and send a link, or just any number of topics. So post things that you think will be helpful to people. Or retweet messages that other people have posted that you think are relevant and you would like to share. Use a friendly, casual tone. Stay upbeat, stay positive, and don't spam people by any means. So leverage the real-time nature of Twitter. Use it on your mobile phone so you have it accessible at any time. Ask questions. Throw some ideas out there. Solicit feedback. Feedback will come quickly most of the time. Respond to customer service issues quickly. And don't get angry about a tweet publicly. Take it offline. Use a direct message if you need to engage someone in a more direct way. And don't be a downer when you tweet. Tweets that are positive are shared 34% more, and tweets that are negative are shared 13% less. So if you're trying to get engagement and retweets, tweet things that are positive. When you post content, keep it short. A concise tweet makes an impact, so focus on one specific message. With only 140 characters anyway, you don't have a ton of space to say much more than one thing. And if you can even keep it under 125 characters, it allows for retweets a lot easier than somebody having to retweet and then edit down your message in order to add their own comment. Use visuals. Add an image or a video or something that adds a touch of personality. You'll get 3 times higher engagement rates when you add visuals. Definitely incorporate hashtags. That's what Twitter is all about. Expand your reach by tapping into those relevant conversations. Focus on the keywords that are relevant to your business, but don't over hashtag. 2 hashtags per tweet is plenty. And again, to engage people, ask questions, maybe run polls, bring people into that conversation, try to understand what their opinion is on different issues and topics. And finally, curate and connect. Retweet content that you find relevant. Reply to questions, comments, and criticisms. If you look at this particular one, this guy, Jeff Lesser, tweeted this company, Fernie, and asked them a question. And Fernie responded, yes, we'd be happy to help. And they included the link to send a private message so that they could help them they could help answer this guy's question off of Twitter. So when is the best time to tweet? Well, opinions vary about when you should tweet, and it might depend on who you ask, who your audience is, what industry you're in, or any number of factors. But according to Twitter itself, there's no right or wrong number of times you should tweet each day or when. Instead, you should focus on creating a regular cadence of content that's relevant to your target audience and authentic to your business. So notice the phrase regular cadence of content. A lot of people decide they're going to launch a Twitter channel or a Facebook page or whatever, and then they just post a few times and then stop. But start developing it as a habit, and don't just say you have a plan to post twice a day and then at the end of the day you're scrambling to come up with something to post. Make sure that you have a plan for what that post will be and that the post is relevant. So plan your posts and plan for their relevance as well. Vary your content throughout the day or the week. Maybe post it at some different times or post a variety of content. You should post at least once or more per day. More is better, but again, don't completely overdo it. Space out your tweets throughout the day, so don't post more than once per hour, excluding your @ replies. That you can do that, but in terms of your original post, no more than once per hour. And don't forget to tweet over the weekend. So there's not as many people maybe on Twitter over the weekend, so you might get less retweets or RTs, but your click-through rate or CTR might actually improve because there's not as much content being put on Twitter. So your users might be more likely to see your post and engage with it that way. That said, you have a small window of time for your tweet to actually grab people, your engagement opportunity. A tweet actually reaches 75% of those who will see it within less than 3 hours. I mean, that's astounding how fast that is. So this means that your tweet needs to get out in front of as many people as possible when the largest portion of your audience is using Twitter. So some people recommend these particular times. They say the best time to post on Twitter is at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. The best time for retweets is noon to 4 p.m. For business-to-business organizations, some say that the best times to tweet are between noon and 3 on weekdays, with the highest clicks and retweets happening around 3 p.m. But, I don't know if those are true. I don't know if those are accurate. You're going to have to test it for yourself, try different times, and see what works. But they do say that bad times are before 10 and after 7. So seems like people are probably tweeting mostly in the meat of their workday. So what are some other Twitter tips? Well, first of all, you want to be able to differentiate yourself from your competitors by sharing information that's unique to you or your company. Use that @reply feature to respond to the customers who've tweeted about your business. Even if they've said something positive, at least thank them for their comment. If they've said something negative or have a concern, then engage with them on Twitter and show others that are following them that you are responsive to their concerns. Maybe host a contest or sweepstakes to boost engagement or to gain followers. Search for users who complain about your competitors and actually incentivize them to try your products or service. So set up an alert that will show posts that come through or hashtags that come through with your competitor's name. Use promotional tweets to get noticed by potential customers who aren't already following you. So, either tweets that are promotional in nature or tweets that you've actually paid for, like Twitter ads that will engage people that aren't typically following you. So what are some of the don'ts of tweeting? Well, don't tweet too much. 36 times a day or more is too much. Don't tweet too little. 1 time a day is not enough. Don't appear to be automated. Have a personality. Don't share the same link over and over and over again. And as we talked about the 70-20-10 rule, don't be too self-centered and tweet about yourself all the time. Only about 10% of your tweets should be related to you or your company or promotional in nature. So don't do too much self-promotion. Don't tweet too many quotes from others. And don't exhibit anger issues. And definitely don't forget to engage in conversation. The purpose of Twitter is two-way conversation. It's not for you to just do the talking and not create opportunities for response.